What's up, world? It's me, Nez. Welcome to Nez Telly. First timers and my dear subscribers, thank you so much for coming by to find out the next book that you can and should be reading. And today we are talking about consistency. I think this is coming in very, very important right now because this is my last book for the month of June. Next month we're going to go back and start doing our African books again. From everything that I've read so far, everything that we've read and studied so far this month, we've realized that it's very important to be consistent about several things, and that is why I found this book, The Power of Consistency. Sadly, this book is not a book I can tell you guys this way you can get it or not, but I read it on script. 4-hour book, audio, very simple. It also has the ebook if you prefer that, but available on audio, 4 hours, and it was done. Now, this story is, first of all, I find this very inspiring. It's about some guy who I'm going to refer to as crazy, right, called Weldon Long. Weldon Long was somebody that had spent a good portion of his young adult life in jail. At the age of, I think, in his late 40s, he got out of jail, and then he was able to make his life what it is today. He was able to start up a company that was able to gross about $20 million in the first 60 months, something like that. So yeah, he's somebody that had worked extra hard to change his situation, because while he was in jail, he hated what he saw there and decided that he could do something about it. Hence, he wrote the beautiful book called The Good Side of Fear? I'm going to write that down here. I've forgotten the name. Oh, sorry, I'll put it in the description box. His other book, The Upside of Fear. That's the name here. The Upside of Fear, which was a big hit, and gave him the opportunity to meet several other writers and millionaires and all that. He actually made one of these lists of top something guys and all that. So he's one of those people that his story is just so baffling and so wonderful. But he's somebody that, because of what he has gone through, you want to listen to him. That's where I am with him. So Weldon Long wrote the book The Power of Consistency, where he talks about the power of like 6 or 7 things that were very, very important, that if you're consistent in those things, you're definitely going to guarantee success. Now, let me tell you something. When it comes to this reading expedition that we are doing, the more you read, the more you know. But you see, until you act, if you're not willing to, Napoleon Hill said the action is where success is. If you don't act on what you heard, if there is no action to what you know, then you just know, and that's that. You know for knowledge sake, and that's that. You have to allow yourself to act. You have to allow yourself not to let fear hold you down. Do you understand? So consistency, I'm going to talk about, like, I think for the consistency he talked about, the consistency of your mind. This mind one, I think that from January till now, every book that I read that has something to do with money, they talk about the importance of taking care of your mind. In your mind, if you don't really believe within yourself that you're going to be rich, you're not going to be rich. Of course, your mind is like this is the most complex computer in the world. It's impossible to fathom what the mind does. But understand something. You may say to yourself, I am a millionaire, I know I'm going to be a millionaire, but somewhere in your mind, occasionally, your subconscious will remind you the reason why you're not going to be a millionaire. It will affect your actions, it will affect the things that you believe is possible. Sometimes, I imagine you've tried out something once, and then it did not work, you decided it didn't work, and that's that. If you are able to try, that's what consistency comes. If you're able to try and try and try and try, and it works, then that is where the power of consistency comes in. Okay, so you talked about the consistency of your mind. You have to make sure that your mind is constantly focused on that. The other one is consistency of focus. Finally, you have to constantly focus on your goals as a person. 7 years before he got out of jail, he had a 3-year-old son who I think he acts like that was what inspired him the most to become a better man, because he knew that he had 7 years left, and he also knew that there was no way that he was going to be a good father to his son if he is in jail, being in jail and just acting. So he decided to focus on the life he wanted. He focused on the kind of relationship he wanted with his son, and he stayed affirming. That's the other one, consistency of affirmation. Consistency of affirmation is like when you wake up one day, like us Christians, a lot of times we say we are children of God. We are walking in power. We are walking in miracles. You know that song. I know who I am. Yes, we say those things. But how often do you tell it to yourself? Coming to the last consistency I'm going to talk about, where it talks the consistency of quiet time. The consistency of quiet time, say that 15 minutes a day, every morning when you wake up, sit down in quiet, sit down silently, affirm to yourself, laser your focus, tune in your mind, I've talked about this mind one. This mind one, I feel like if you don't get anything from the series of what we've done in this whole July or this whole year of reading our books on success, understand mind. If your mind is not in place, it will affect some people. You know, some people get rich and then suddenly they become poor again. Not like something bad happened to them, but somehow they just became poor again. It has a lot more to do with what you have on the inside about yourself. Your mind, this is your head, this is your mind, this is your obolo. The mind, yeah, this mind, this is your brain. Do you understand? It has to register inside that you're a rich person. You have to register inside that you're a prosperous person. You have to register in mind that you're here to be a change maker and to be a giver to other people. Now, I think another thing, this I also got from the monk who sold his Ferrari and this book. He said that understand that your contribution to this world is one of the things that will make you stand out the most as a person. That is where your purpose is. That is where your success is. That is where you have a very high tendency to thrive. If you don't understand your purpose, if you don't understand your contribution to this earth, if you don't understand why you are here, then you might as well not be turning on your own. But the thing is that maybe you should just start first. It doesn't actually matter, like I keep saying, it doesn't matter the product that you're supposed to sell or the product you're supposed to work with. I talked about this from when we talked about Build to Last. It has more to do with you as a person, the value that you decided that you're going to bring into this world. It has nothing to do with the product. I think that's where a lot of us that went to places like business schools and all that seem to not be getting it right. It has a lot more to do with the value that we have. I also wanted to address something else. Motivation. You have to stay motivated. This man actually comes across as someone in the motivational genre. My king said something. My king said motivation is like fuel in the car. He said this because it's something that both of us have sat down and wondered a lot. Why do, especially in Nigeria, or at least in the Nigerian social media space, a lot of people are not feeling motivators anymore. A lot of people feel like motivators are they just sit down there and speak beautiful things and they make you excited, and that's that. Motivation is needed. If you don't motivate yourself, someone else motivates you. That's just how it is. But the thing is that when people motivate you, it's not their job to also get you up to now do what you need to do. They tell you, get up and do something. They tell you, arise. You're a strong person. You can do this. You can do that. Even God can motivate you. But understand that it is you that has to get up and do something. The fuel in the car is motivation. You have to start the car. You can start the car. Sure, you can just sit down in the car. That's number one. You can sit down and start the car. You can sit down, start the car and rev. Boom, 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 boom. And you can also put your car in park. Sorry, in a, accelerate? Drive, thank you. Put it on drive and then you drive. Until you're willing to move that car. You're just motivated and that's it. That is where I feel a lot of people fall into. Where they've heard things, people motivate them to do something. And then they don't feel exactly motivated. That's because you just sat down there and continue revving the car. And you didn't move. Then if we're talking about success, if you enter that car, yes, and then you drive and you start going, and then 2 minutes into your drive, someone hits you, bash, you have accident, right? If you go to hospital and you fix yourself and then you fix your car, do you say, I'm no more driving again? Do you give up on your life because something did not work? You have to get up, get back into that car, and you continue to drive. What you've learned is that maybe when you enter the road, you should look left and right and left and right before you continue to drive. That way nobody will hit you. If you continue going and you continue going, some other things might also happen. Someone might walk across the road. You might have to swerve to the left. You might have to swerve to the right. But at least at this point, you've learned that if you continue to go, somebody can hit you. So you're careful and all that. But understand something. If you sit down in the parking lot with your car without moving, it doesn't matter how much fuel you have. It doesn't matter the quality of the car you have. It doesn't matter the caliber of the engine. 5-liter engine with blah, blah, blah horsepower. If you just sit down there and rev the car, you're not going to move. Think about that as you go on. This man, I think, is somebody that's Weldon Long. He's somebody that I think that everybody should at least try to get to know of. The man, he's like, they say some people are crazy. Some people are crazy. The guy was able to fine-tune his mind to become something other than what he was. 7 years before he left prison, he sat down and talked himself into becoming the success that he is today. See, this mind, this is your mind, this is your boro, this is your mind. No carry and joke. We're at the end of June. I don't know what book you read or whatever it is you're trying to focus on to better in your life, and whatever book you're reading to do that. I really hope you the very best of this month, and I can't wait to see you guys next month. Meanwhile, our next video is going to be the bomb. I have a guest coming in and he's going to be so exciting. I can't wait to share that with you guys. If you haven't already, please, I'm on social media. Nestle is on Instagram, is on TikTok, and is on Facebook. Then, of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe, ring the bell so that you can know when I have a new video up. And then don't forget to read a book. Please share, like the video, and thanks for watching.